Wait for me, world, wait for me.
How did you get over the hump? Because there's a mindset that allows for people to kind of personally say, okay, enough's enough, I'm going. And also to do that with their organization, enough's enough, I'm going. You know, what mindset just kind of catalyzed for you that you can actually go back to? It's kind of your anchor point.
So I always wanted to make a lot of money. I just did. I have no idea why. I think that it was just maybe at the time thinking security, whatever it was. And so I was probably, it's probably about 20 years ago when I met Bob. And I was just thinking, I'm not making enough money. Now, you know how the universe has a funny way of giving us what to do. So I knew that I just wanted to make more money. And the only way that I thought that I could do that is maybe just work harder, get a job. So as I was starting to say, you know how the universe gives you signs. I got Bob Proctor's book, You Were Born Rich. And I swear to God, Blaine, that and Ash, I swear to God, I was walking in an airport and I just saw it and thinking, wow, You Were Born Rich. That's a great book. Now I might've got it from Nightingale Conant, but I'm not sure. And so I just started reading it. And then I had no idea who Bob Proctor was, never heard of Bob Proctor. And I started reading it and it really resonated with me. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's like, you know, and you don't have to work so hard. And if you just do what you love, money's gonna start flowing to you. I remember having read Think and Grow Rich when I was about 20, but I had no idea. I mean, I was just thinking, okay, this went right over my head. And so, you know, 8 years later, I see this book and I basically read it and I devoured it in a weekend. And I was working for a guy, actually it was Mary Morrissey's ex-husband. And I was working for him as a consultant on a movie. And he goes, okay, I gotta leave early tonight because I gotta go see Bob Proctor. I go, wait a minute, why do I know that name? Bob Proctor, hold on, Bob Proctor, the guy that wrote this book? And I pull out the book and he goes, yeah, I know him, I'm putting together a bunch of authors. And I go, you know this guy? And he goes, yeah, I know this guy. I go, you don't know this guy. And he calls him up and Bob gets on the phone and he is so nice. And he said, look, you know, if you want to meet with me, I'm in Vegas. And so I immediately flew to Vegas the next day, had lunch with him for like, it had to be 4 hours. And basically I never looked back. And what I did learn during that time, it took me years to actually get the Oscar. But what I learned is that you just have to focus on what it is you want. And that's really hard for people when you're first getting started because we have so much negativity. I mean, right now you turn on the news, I don't think there's one positive story out there. If there is, I mean, if it's not about the Karens, it's about, you know, something with COVID. If you're living in California, we're still not open. So I'm a swimmer, I mean, as Blaine knows, and the pools still aren't open. So there's something. So you have to develop, you must develop the mindset where you only focus on what you want because that is God's intention for you. And just like Blaine was saying, what Mary said and what Peggy said is that what would you love? And if you can just focus on what you love, then everything's gonna work out perfectly because it always does, always.
Wait for me, world, wait for me.